Reaching your full potential may not be as hard as you think, and it can be because you're not disciplined enough. You don't see a long-term vision for yourself, and you don't see a point in getting certain things done. But today we're breaking down this narrative and getting you on the path to your dream life. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pamela, and today we're going to be talking all about how to stay disciplined, how to stay consistent with your routines, living efficiently, and more. I used to be the girl that would love to sleep late and wake up even later. I would put all the sugar that I wanted in my body. I had the wrong friends and the wrong groups of people around me, and I would not be caught dead waking up before 11 a.m. on a weekend. And it's not that I didn't care about myself, it's that I was okay with excuses. I was okay with not giving myself limits, and I was okay with being all over the place. I basically had no structure with the way that I was living with certain things, and although I am a very organized and clean person, and I had very clear goals about what I wanted my future to look like, I never really acted like it. When I finally snapped back and I realized that if I wanted my dream life to happen, then I had to act like my dream self. So I had to stop doing all of the careless things that I was previously doing. I had to stop spending money or spending time doing useless stuff that had no benefit. And so I want to share with you guys 6 tips that have honestly and truly helped me go from the girl that I just mentioned to the girl that I am now, that has been able to build discipline, take risks, and of course learn to get out of my comfort zone. Tip number 1 is start with goals and visions. Have long-term and short-term goals for yourself. And the reason why this is important when it comes to building discipline is because you genuinely need to ask yourself, what do you want for yourself long-term and short-term? And I have so many videos on goal setting and achieving your dreams and how to overcome limiting beliefs, all those kinds of videos. They really go hand in hand with this topic because you have to think about what is it that you want for your life. And if you don't have a vision of where it is that you want to go, then it can be hard to stay motivated, stay locked in, and of course, stay disciplined. And the reason why having goals or a vision is even more important is because you want to have some sort of direction for whatever it is that you're working towards. And it can be hard for you to want to wake up early or get your day started or eat right or spend less money if you don't have some sort of goal in mind. And even if you don't have anything that you're working towards, it doesn't make sense for you to be disciplined in the first place because there is nothing that you're really thinking of in your mind. And I'm honestly speaking from experience when I say this because I used to want to force myself to have this strong mentality. I used to want myself to change and have this really new and improved mindset, but I was never able to fully go in and fully lock in and stay disciplined for more than a week because when it came to that long-term vision for myself, I didn't have it crystal clear and I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to go, so it didn't make sense for me in the first place to even want to stay locked in. And my sister and I had this conversation actually about 2 nights ago because she is someone that she's very wishy-washy with the things she wants to do. Like one day she has this goal for her life, the next day she has this goal, and it can be hard for her to stay down one path because every day she changes her mind. And then so she asked me, like, I have such a hard time figuring out why can't I stay disciplined? Why can't I just do things every day that are actually on my to-do list? And I told her it's because you are very wishy-washy. Like every day you're going flip-flop and you're changing your mind on what it is that you want. And I told her that it's not about having a super specific vision in mind of what it is that you want for your life, because we can all try to plan our lives as much as we want. It's never going to end up like that. Life always gets in the way. But I told her that try to figure out and write down, like, what are your long-term goals? What are your short-term goals? Create this vision and just really think, what do you want your future to look like? And you can divide this up into different categories to try to make it easier for yourself. So for me, I usually break it down into personal, financial, health/wellness, and then self-improvement. So break down your top categories that are important to you and what works for your life. Don't try to copy other people. Don't try to copy what others are doing online. Truly just look at what is important to you and then really picture your dream life in those categories. What is it that you want, and form some sort of general picture and then start working towards that. Tip number 2 is create and find your motivation. So when it comes to staying disciplined, you have to create and find what motivates you. If what you want doesn't motivate you enough to get up every day and work towards your dreams and your goals, then you either don't want it bad enough, you are fine with the next person in life having it, or you are fine with staying where you currently are. Some tips to help you create your own motivation is by having role models or people that you look up to. So do research on other people in the industry that you want to be in and find out their story. How did they get to where they are today? Some of my favorite role models are Mark Cuban, Barbara Corcoran, Huda Katan, Tara Bosch, who founded Smart Suites, Kendra Scott, Morgan DeBon, Oprah, all of these really amazing, inspiring women and men that have literally persevered and pushed through the noise are what keep me going, because it makes me think if these people were able to do it in their circumstances, I feel like I definitely can as well. Also, making a vision board and having it up in your room is another great way to really visualize your dreams and your goals and have them in real life. I have my vision board up and I have a whole vlog on putting mine together and all of the inspiring images that I used. There literally are studies and there's so many articles online that show how visualization is really key when it comes to achieving your dreams and your goals. You should also follow people that inspire you. Make sure that you are just looking at other people online or having people that you follow that can motivate you and push you to keep going. I personally really like to follow founders and business owners and people that are out there making a change and doing something really cool, because that makes me excited to see what can I do with my life. Making a Pinterest board with really inspiring images can also be helpful. I have a ton of private Pinterest boards that have inspirational images and mood board pictures on what I want my future to look like and how I am planning on creating that. And I always like to go back at night and pin some images to these boards because it gets me really excited for the next day to see what am I going to do. Connect with others that are also in the same mindset as you. So have people or mentors that you look up to and that you can connect with for real life advice or inspiration, or just people that are in the same age range as you that are doing the same thing. And I have so many content creator friends that are doing the same thing online. I have so many mutuals that are building their personal brands, and even though they are not in my actual environment and they're not in my day-to-day life, it's still nice and inspiring and motivating to see online that they are doing something for themselves. It's just so cool. And lastly is be picky about your environment and who you are around. You have to be picky about who you are spending time with and who you are putting your energy into, because if you are constantly around people or friends that are draining you and they don't have goals or they're not doing as much, it's going to start affecting how you look at things and how your day-to-day routine looks like. So really be more aware of who is getting your time and who is getting all of your energy. Tip number 3 is figure out your obstacles and what is holding you back. Find out what is holding you back and what is not letting you reach your full potential. We all deserve to get our dream life and do the things that we have always imagined or the things that we have always planned for ourselves. But with this comes looking at what is stopping us from reaching that full potential. So for me, my biggest obstacles were who I was hanging around with, like I mentioned in my previous tip. It was my everyday routine. It was sleeping in or waking up late, spending money on useless things, like all those kinds of stuff. And as soon as I started to notice all of these things and I wanted to make a change with it, my life changed for the better and I genuinely saw a difference. So if you are trying to figure out what your obstacles are for your life, you need to start by looking at your everyday routine and how you start your day. Maybe you also like to sleep in a little bit and start your day late. Maybe you are a little bit sluggish. Maybe you're hanging around too much with the wrong crowd and people that influence you. Whatever it is, just look at what you get done during the day and during the week and what can possibly be holding you back. And you should also look at your personal care routine and your mindset. So if you are negative to yourself, if you are telling yourself things in your head and making yourself believe that you can't do something, definitely check out my video on overcoming limiting beliefs, because this can be a big problem when it comes to changing your mindset, because you really need to work around these negative thoughts to get yourself to think positively. But regardless, these are things that we tell ourselves on a daily basis. By really looking at how we think during the day and what we tell ourselves during the day, that can be a big reflection on another kind of obstacle holding you back, because it can literally just be your mindset and your own thoughts. And we have to show up every day like we are already living in our end goal, that we already have what it is that we want, and we have to just think positively. And the reason why a lot of people say live in the end goal is because this is another form of manifestation. This is another form of visualization. It can really help us push past all of the noise, push push past all of the people that can be holding us back or just all of the obstacles like I just mentioned, but you really need to identify these problems or identify these things that can be blocking us from reaching our full potential, from hitting our dream goals, because like I said, they can honestly be doing more harm than good. Tip number 4 is start building your routine and holding yourself accountable. So now that we've figured out what our vision is for our life, we have our goals, we have figured out the obstacles holding us back, plus we have some motivation and role models, we have to jam and put this all together. So we have to build a routine and hold ourselves accountable for this. By building this new routine, you are going to actually follow it and stick to it. And there are so many benefits of having a good routine. For example, you are going to sleep better, you're going to have more productivity, less fatigue throughout the day, less stress. Like, all of these benefits are great when you have a good routine and you actually follow it. So when you stick to it and you hold yourself accountable, you are going to remember again what it is that you're working towards. It's going to become easier, and it's going to be easier than before to actually get things done, because we have already identified all the things that were previously holding us back. A way to build this new routine, whether it's for your morning or your nighttime or both, is by starting with that vision that we talked about in the beginning of this video. What is the vision that we want for our future, and what are the little baby steps that we have to take every day to get to this? Then find your role models, find your motivators, people or things that you can listen to while you are getting your work done during the day, and use them as inspiration for what you are building or what you are working towards. And then take out all of those negative factors that are weaved into that, like I just mentioned. Take out the binge drinking or the binge eating on the weekends. Take out the spending money for no reason. Take out all of those little things that may be affecting you and start fresh on a clean slate. You are going to feel so much better when you have this new routine, because it almost feels like you're shedding this old skin. And one of my problems for not following new routines was because I felt like I was still living my old life. I was never able to stick to new routines for a long period of time, or even in general, was because I felt like I was still my old self, and I felt like I was still that old version of me. But by creating this new routine and by following all the things we just talked about, you are going to be able to identify all of the blocks and all of the obstacles like I just mentioned, and you're really going to be feeling like you were able to shed all of that old skin and you were able to just come as this new person. So genuinely put all of those tips together, because now it's kind of like a step by step, and build this new routine for yourself and actually follow it. Tip number 5 is be consistent with grace over being super extreme. This is one of the most important tips that I will say in this video, because you have to be consistent with yourself, but with grace. You need to be patient with yourself and not be so hard on the thing it is that you want to do or the person it is that you are trying to become. Being consistent with yourself with grace over being super extreme has way more benefits. When you are consistent with your routine, but you listen to your body on certain days or during certain times, that is what is going to help you bounce back stronger. When you listen to your mind and your body, that is what builds the power for you to get back up after 2 days of taking off, or however long it is that you take off. That is when you build the most strength, because you don't feel like you have to start all over again. And I used to think that I needed to have this super consistent, straight routine every single day, and that if I would break it off for a day or two, that I was a failure. When that cannot be more far from the truth. And an example of this is, like, I know a lot of people do the 75 hard, which is 75 straight days of working out every day, twice a day, eating certain kind of foods, like all of those things. I personally would never do it, but I really applaud the people who do this and complete it in full, because it is not easy. But I don't want you to feel like you need to do some sort of challenge like this, or you need to be consistent every single day for a certain amount of time in order to feel like you're not a failure. That is not true. I personally want to enjoy things rather than force myself to get things done. And we have to listen to ourselves, to our body, to our mind, and use this to an advantage when we really feel like we need the energy and we need to sleep or we need to take a day off. Listen to your body. And this does not mean use that as an excuse to slack off and not do something it is that you have to do. don't take advantage of that. You need to use this obviously in moderation, because if we really want to get the things it is that we want done, then we need to actually show up every single day. So of course, give yourself the rest and the time off that you need, but at the same time, do it in moderation. Don't just take a week off because you feel like it and you want to be lazy. Take a week off if maybe you're noticing your body is a little bit sore, or you're not doing your workouts as efficiently, or maybe you're not enjoying it as much. Like maybe you need to just take some time off for a few days and not do a super intense workout, and maybe do some lower intense ones, like just walking and outside cardio. Whatever it is, know when your body is telling you no, and listen to that, because that is what is going to help you bounce back stronger. And I've noticed that when I take a day or two off from journaling or not filming a video, I come back even stronger. I come back with even more ideas because I listen to myself. So definitely focus on giving yourself grace rather than being super extreme, because there's just so much more benefits when you listen to how you feel. Tip number 6, which is our last tip for this video, is reward yourself and continue to learn. You should reward yourself with things that you enjoy and constantly be learning every day when you are building this discipline routine. Do things that you love and take time to just enjoy the day by day. There is a reason why people say enjoy the process rather than living in the end goal. You have to just learn every day and keep staying inspired, keep staying connected and meeting people and making your dreams happen. And there is this quote that I heard from this motivational video that Drake was talking about, and he basically said, don't say you're going to outdo someone, just do it. Disconnect from the end goal, because that can cause you to self-destruct. Find your own moment. If you are just focused on some end goal, you might get there, but it will be so hard to progress past that because you're so focused on that one destination that you might forget everything in between. Just be here right now. Do the best you can right now. It's good to have goals and dreams, but you get too attached to things and it becomes self-destructive. And this quote really stood out to me from the video because it is literally so true. When you stay so connected to your end goal and that is all that you think about, then you begin to lose touch with what is present and what you're doing right now, and you lose sight of what is in front of you. So be grateful for what it is that you have and what has gotten you this far. Have fun with life. Enjoy your everyday, because not everybody gets a chance at another day, but you are here, you're alive, you're breathing, you're watching this video. So just make sure that you are being grateful for what it is that is around you. You're grateful for who is in your life and that you have gotten yourself this far to either wanting to make a change for your life. You don't want to be that old person anymore. Like, you want to shed that old skin, and you just need to be grateful and live in the moment for that. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I am so grateful for you guys. I love my YouTube community and I love all the positive comments that I get on all of my videos. I know I always say that, but it is so true. You guys are genuinely the best, and I wish you all of the best of luck on whatever journey it is that you are going through, and whatever situation you are currently in, you can definitely get out of it. You can make your own story, you can write your own book, and I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.